Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Ask. My sister, my brother. Ask. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. Oh man, we all spend so much time focusing on the things that we do not want, that is not working in our life. And we wonder why we keep getting more of that. Now, this is most likely not going to be the first time you're hearing this kind of a conversation of, man, you got to get clear on what you really do want, right? So you either get clear on the things that you really want within your life, or just realize that life is going to happen to you. Like, shit's just going to come at you, right? And so as opposed to living a life that's based on being intentional and awake, as the kids say, woke, right? Like awake, like aware, conscious, here, present, like a true creator of your life, it will require you to get clear on what you want. And if not, it's just going to come at you, right? It's kind of like, if you don't design your life this way, then your life becomes a series of putting out fires. You know, do you feel me on this one? Like, I've been there before too, and I can still go there at times. It's just like, oh, like it's not even like I'm just waiting for the next thing to go. There's something with the kids, there's something with this, there's something with that. There's just like a constant barrage of problems. And it's no wonder when I'm in a state like that, and I see this with my clients all the time, well, guess what? It is a clear ask to the universe of bring me more of that, please. Okay? Bring me more of that, please. And the thing is, too, is like, it's really hard to get clear on what you want because so many of you, number one, haven't really thought about it this way before, or at least not for a really long ass time. Or number two, you don't think you're deserving or worthy of it. Or number three, you don't know how it's going to happen, so you don't even give yourself the opportunity to dream. And I don't mean dream like a daydream or like something that's never going to happen. No, I mean like dream. Like you don't give, maybe we'll have a better word here. You don't even give yourself the opportunity to create. To just like play, like not be so heavy about it. You don't allow yourself that. You censor it, right? Like you hold back. And so I've been on the phone with a lot of women over the years when I asked them, like, what? It was like, well, this isn't working with this. I'm like, cool, I totally hear you. So like, what do you want? And for some of them, then it's like, it's crickets. And you know, as women, we hold a lot of hats, right? Like wife, partner, girlfriend, mother, some of us, businesswoman, daughter, sister, friend, woman, juggling a lot of stuff in our life. I'm telling you right now, there is more pressure now than ever for women. I really, truly believe that. I really, truly believe that. Even from like 5 years ago even, you know, like there's so much fucking pressure on us. There's a lot of pressure on men too. I don't mean to kind of discount that experience, but there's a lot of pressure on women. And like, listen, we're all just doing our absolute best. But the thing that we often don't do is we don't ask for what we want because of those reasons, right? And some of this too, like this is why, by the way, my coaching is really going into deeper layers now of like, let's really take a look at what is that subconscious program that you were just running on. So like, I could give you the steps on how to do something and you won't do it. And it's not because you're lazy or you need to be more disciplined. Okay? It's not. It's because you are so entrenched in that subconscious program. It has such a significant grip on you. We got to get to that. Right? We got to get to that cause. It's kind of like when I was in practice as a chiropractor. Like, as chiropractors, the way that my husband and I practiced was that, you know, we were really there to help correct subluxations, which are misalignments in the spine, which your misalignments in the spine that then put pressure on nerves, and our nervous system controls every single function of the body, every organ, cell, tissue, gland, everything. And so what happens is when you have a subluxation and misalignment in your spine, it then puts pressure on the nerve, and it means that you don't function the way that you're supposed to. And yes, if it's there long enough, you can start to feel it as a symptom. That is not always, but often the reason why people would come and see us in practice is because they're suffering with some kind of a symptom, illness, ailment, some kind of discomfort, something that's happening in life that is just, their body's starting to break down. And so as opposed to saying, well, let's get you checked. Let's see if this is something we can help you with. Great, we can. And so then let's set a course of action. And never once did I say to people after adjustments, after spinal alignments, to say, well, how do you feel now? And the reason why was not because I didn't care what they felt, because I knew that didn't have any relevance to how their body's actually healing. That didn't necessarily have a relevance to cause, by the way. Now, this might be completely blowing your mind. You're like, wait a second, what the hell is about feeling good? Nope. And I'll give you a really perfect example, and then we'll come back to what we're talking about here right now. If you get food poisoning, the healthiest response your body can do is to throw up or have diarrhea. Okay? It's gonna, I'll say this bluntly, it's gonna get rid of that thing, it's gonna shoot it out one end or the other, right? That is a healthy response to poison and toxin in the body. But yet you feel awful, right? You feel horrible during, everyone's had food poisoning at some point in their life or just violently ill, right? Like you feel horrible, but yet that is your body's perfect expression of health in that moment. Health is not about feeling good. That's a piece of it. You should feel good if you're healthy, yes. But there's going to be times that you don't. And so that was not a barometer to how is your care going, your chiropractic care, was how do you feel now? Because I also understood that the symptom is the last thing to develop. So guess what? It's also the first thing to go away when the body begins to heal. But it doesn't mean we're fully healed yet. We had to get to cause. Okay, so it's interesting how, my path in life has got me to here where I am, I like having online courses and things that you can do. And here's a more tip on the podcast to say, let me give you something, right, to start. Let me give you something that's going to maybe, and for a lot of you, it'll never go past these things. And that's totally okay. Like, I love you. I appreciate you being here. And I know that there's a reason that you're here and there's something you're getting from this. But there's going to be, for some of you go, it's not enough. Like, I really want to get to the cause. This is that subconscious programming. It's fucking massive. It's huge. It is really just something that I became aware of and how I'm just learning more for myself, let alone be able to pass this on to you as a coach and a leader and mentor of how significant that subconscious programming is. This is the reason you sabotage. This is the reason you can't finish things at times or you never start. This is the reason why it doesn't matter how many podcasts, how many books you read, like you're just kind of like consuming stuff thinking that the answer that you're looking for is outside of you, that you will never get there. And I say this not with doom and gloom. I say this with just absolute love and compassion and honesty because I see it. I see people just on these loops over and over and over. And they think the next life thing is what's going to change it. When we move, when I quit that job, when I get to this new relationship, when, I lose the 50 pounds, like whatever it is, that somehow that'll be the promised land. And then you're going to get there, or maybe you don't because you don't think you're deserving and worthy, so you never allow yourself to actually get that. But you get there and you go, oh, shit, well, that wasn't it. I thought if I had all that money in the bank, then everything would change. Okay, well, what's the next thing? Let me go into that now. And it just becomes this constant looking and searching on the outside when really it's the inside work. It's the stuff that sucks. Man, I'm just straight up truth with this one, sister. It is not fun to go through this. It is not easy to look at yourself and go, oh, it's me. All the stuff in my life, yeah, I'm responsible for it. It's me. I'm the common denominator in all of this. Now, yes, there are some, we're going to call it somehow like exceptions. That's not the right word, but exceptions to the rule, right? You've been abused as a young child. You've been listen, awful shit, right? You've been assaulted in some way, but we start to realize that it's up to us. The responsibility to change life is up to us. The responsibility to heal is up to us. Nobody's going to give it to us. We're not going to find any answers on the outside. Things are going to maybe help to lead us to truth. my hope and my wish and my intention is that, this podcast, whether it's one episode you listen to or all, what is today? Episode 718. You listen to all those episodes for the last over 4 years and you go, holy shit, something is going to turn on inside of you to make a decision, to choose differently, to wake up, to love yourself. Or, all the above. But here's where the ask comes in. Let's come back to this, okay? So I had an amazing experience this morning that I want to share with you. I don't know if this story is a good... You know what? I'm not feeling like I'm not going to share it. Sorry, that was like really awful. Let me share you a really cool story. No, I'm not going to do it. Let me take it away from you. But let me just talk about it from a more bigger picture perspective, okay? I've had several experiences in my life way before I understood the real power of this, okay? Whether you want to say it's a piece of the law of attraction, because it is. You can believe in it, not believe in it. You can also believe or not believe in gravity. It's happening. Whether you agree with it or not, it still is, right? I can go back to several experiences in my life where I simply asked for something and it came. Okay, now, it's so funny when I teach my boys, right? Because they're so funny, they're so literal. My sons are 6 and 9. And so when I speak to them about God and about prayer and about asking for this, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to ask for this toy. And I'm like, well, it's not like Amazon. That's not really the way that it works with this when you co-create with the universe. Like, no, it doesn't work that way, sweetheart, But really, like, you ask for an answer, you ask for a solution. Be specific, by the way, in what you ask. If you go, well, I want peace. Well, I don't know. What does that mean? You mean, if you're not specific about what the ask is, whether you want to say it's in the form of prayer or co-creation or like whatever, it's all the same, right? It's all the same. We just put different labels on it. You have to be really specific. So it's kind of like, I'll speak to my kids this way too. I'm just like, honey, like, be specific. Like, what do you want? My 6-year-old, he's so cute the way he speaks. Oh my gosh. He's got that thing, still he's 6, whereas like his R's are like W's. And so literally sometimes, when your kids are little and you're kind of doing that, like they say something and you kind of slowly say it back because you don't understand it. And you think if you slowly say it back, somehow it'll like come to you. And then you might have an older sibling that does the translation. Like Kai's still like that at times where I'm just like, what did you just say, buddy? Speak clearly, right? So mommy can understand you. Speak clearly. Know clearly what you're asking the universe, God, the divine. Again, whatever label we want to put, don't get hung up on labels. Be clear on what that you are asking for. And expect that it will come. I'm telling you. And I know that you've had experiences in your life where these things have happened. Okay, let me give you one story. So when we were living in Northern California and going to chiropractic college, and we literally drove we were living at that time in Toronto, drove a piece of crap 1980 Mercury Monarch vehicle. This was in 1997. So it's already a 17-year-old vehicle. It's a big, if you don't know what that vehicle is, it's a big boat. Like, it's just huge. Literally didn't know if we were going to make the trip from Toronto all the way to San Jose, California. Like, I'm not kidding you about this. Like, just, everything about being down there for 5.5 years or so was just based on passion and purpose and determination. There's no other reason as to how we literally went to, I'm not even kidding you with this, okay? $1,500. Okay, now at the time, chiropractic college was about $4,000 a quarter. Okay, $16,000 a year. US, by the way, and our dollar, the Canadian dollar then, as it is now, was shitty. It was about 30% on the dollar. So that means our dollars were 70 cents of your dollar. Okay. And a little bit of student loan, but not very much. Like, the student loan didn't even cover my tuition, let alone living expenses in the Bay Area. Let alone we moved down there with basically, because we're Canadian moving to the US, we're basically not even on the credit grid. Like, we don't exist. And so, we're going to look for apartments, all this kind of stuff. Had a room at like the, Motel 6. What's it called? Motel 6 or Lucky? I don't know. One of those ones, those cheap ass rate motels. Which, by the way, was not that cheap for Bay Area back then. But that's like, it's what we kind of found. Didn't know anything. Didn't know the anything. and we made it work. And I can think of times when it would come up on the quarter where we had to pay tuition again. And I literally remember like the next day, like we did not have the money. And just being like, and you know, I didn't even have any sort of faith back then. I actually labeled myself as an atheist back then, but like, you know, didn't have any kind of real connection to that outside of universe, please bring this to me. That was like my connection, right? Just like, you know, I need to find this money like tomorrow. And I'm not even fucking kidding you, okay? A credit card showed up that day with a credit limit of $10,000, okay? In my name, I have zero income. Okay, I don't even exist on the credit grid in the United States. Now, yes, it was also at a time as for the .com crash where banks were giving out credit cards like crazy. But regardless, the timing of it was like unmistakable. And I've had several instances like that throughout that 5.5 years. Like I had also another experience. And so, you know, with that card, I was able to pay for the tuition for that quarter. Like insane, right? I also had another instance where it was the same thing. Like we really need the money. And I remember being on the phone. I saw that because it was kind of back. There was, I mean, online was there online banking back in 97, 98? Yeah, I guess. But like people didn't really use it. Phone banking was the thing. Phone banking was a little bit more. Online banking was kind of more of a newer thing. People were still really afraid of it. And so I remember going phone banking, check my account, and going like, there's like an extra $6,000 in here. I'm like, well, I better call. And instead it was like from CRA, which is like Revenue Canada. So it's like your IRS in the States, because I know most of you listen are from the U.S. And it was like, I was like, no, there's money put in my account like it's a mistake. They go, no. I literally made 3 different calls until three different calls, 3 different people. Because I'm like, if I take this money, if I like spend this money, like, you know, pay for rent and food and tuition and everything else, like, then they're going to ask for it back. Like, I'll be screwed, right? Like, no, I can't. I got to act like this isn't mine. The third person I got on the phone with said to me, okay? So again, keep in mind, CRA person, IRS, like an accountant kind of personality, right? Okay? Said these words to me: you must have an angel, because this money is yours. And I remember just crying and going, oh my God. Now, let me come off that, man, like reliving that. Whew. There is so much power when you simply ask. But the first step is going to be, what do I want? So let's go into this. You are a powerful creator, by the way. You need to fucking own this. I'm going to go there for a second. You need to fucking own that. Okay? It is time to let go of the victim. It is time to let go of all that past hurt and stories. I know you're holding on to it. I know it sucks. What happened, what is happening, I get it. You're in like a rock and a hard place. You're like, no, but Karen, you don't know my story. I hear you. I hear you. I see you. I get it. I get it. However, it's time to fucking stand up and claim you as the creator that you are. But in order for you to claim that, you got to be clear on, what do I want? And then you got to clearly ask for it. This is not woo-woo. This is the way. These are universal principles. This is why the rich keep getting richer. This is why some people, you know, have a horseshoe up their ass. No, they don't. They're really clear on what they want. They don't just, you know, hope and pray and put up a vision board. Like, they still take action towards it, but they understand that they are not alone in this co-creative process. You are not alone in this co-creative process. It's like, you know, you got like a star player. Like, imagine you're like coach of a basketball team. You got the star player and they're like, ooh, coach, put me in. You go, no, these ones. Let me have the B players, the second string players on. When really you got star players that are wanting to be in the game, right? You got star players, again, whatever floats your boat, right? Your angels, your guides, you know, people that you know that have passed on, that you feel their presence in your life, that are here to support you. Angels walking around on earth. You know, you've met people like this. You know who they are. God, universe, source, the divine. Like, use what is there for you. It is the way it's supposed to be. It is why some people seem to move throughout life effortlessly. By the way, it's not without effort, but effortlessly, right? But you got to get clear on what you want, and then you got to ask for it. So Here's what I want you to do. Here's your more tip for today, okay? Open up your journal. And I want you to write at the top of the journal, what I want in my life is, and begin to write. Okay? What I want in my life is, and begin to write. Do not censor yourself. Do not censor yourself. Don't stop it. You're writing. It's just for you. It's words on a page, for crying out loud. Do you know how many of you are so afraid to do just this thing? And so, like, I get it. There's no judgment towards this, but you got to take a step. If you don't want what you want, then you got to take a step to uncovering what you do. And it's not going to necessarily come right away. It might. Like, don't put any expectations that it's going to take forever, or that it's going to come in this one journaling session, but just be open. Be open. What I want in my life is, and begin to ask. Or pardon me, begin to write. Begin to write. Now, from that, I want you to choose one thing. Okay? You can see it as it's the small thing, it's the big, like whatever, just one thing. And ask for that. Universe, God, angels, guides, just simply put it out there. If you don't have a label on, like whatever. Ask for it and expect it to come. And you got to be fully, this is other pieces too, you got to be fully all in with this. Okay, if you're like, I'm going to ask for it, I go, well, can you please, bring me, someone that can help care for my kids because I don't have a sitter right now, but, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Like, no, that doesn't work. One toe in is not the way things are delivered to you. It might be delivered to you, but you're not going to get, you're going to get people maybe that show up. You've put an ad posting for like an online nanny service or something. You're going to show up, but they won't be the right people. They won't be a fit. They won't be available. And they go, oh, that's just shit doesn't work. No, that's because you half-assed it. You got to be all in with it. All in, all in, all in. Okay, so get clear. Pick one of those things on your list and ask. And just be open. Don't be attached to the timeline. Okay, there are things where it just kind of comes boom. But then also don't also buy into it's going to take a long time. It can happen quickly. I'm telling you. I had an experience today where I asked for something really clearly, right? With the intention being of this is the big thing that it'll offer for this person. And I literally get a text message 5 seconds later. Okay, so it can come that quickly to you, but you got to be open. You got to know what you want, and you simply have to ask. Okay, these are the powerful tools that I'm teaching women here 2 months from now in beautiful Victoria, BC, Canada, where I live. I'm sitting here right now in my car downtown before I go into an appointment. It's a beautiful, amazing city. It's like a mix of modern and history, modern and old, if you will. Amazing weather. It'll be in January 2020 and nature all around us, by the way, too, of women that are they're at a crisis, they're at a crossroads. It's like, it's those of you that listen to the podcast and say, it speaks to me. Like, I really resonate with the message. I'm at a point where it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying so hard. Okay, this is for you. If you're trying, you're not just like, oh, I'm just at the beginning of this journey. No, you've been trying, but you just feel stuck. You feel lost. You don't know where to turn. You're afraid to make a decision, or you've made decisions and you felt like it was the wrong thing. You were so stuck in that program of the past and you're just looping and you feel like you can't get out of it. Okay? I have the solution for that. I have the map for that. I've been where you are. And you do not have to do this alone. This life, this journey, by the way, it's not meant to be done alone. It's not. You have your own individual work, hell yeah. But it's not meant to be done alone. So this is what the Women Wanting More Retreat Experience 2020 is all about. Is to be around other women that are like me, other women that are like you, that are going through this journey. So it doesn't have to be so goddamn hard. 11 other women that are just like you. There's only 12 spots for this retreat. 3 are already taken. There's 9 that are remaining. And it's interesting. I had a lot of women at the beginning apply or, asked to apply and then not kind of follow through with the next step. And that's fine. If that's been you, there's no judgment. And if it is you and you're like, oh shit, I want to get back on that, then you better connect with me again. Let me know, because they're going. Because what's happening now is I'm not getting as many women reach out to me, but I'm getting the right women reach out to me that are really, really ready for this. Because this is my application only. Okay, I don't mean this is not like an elitist thing at all. It's just, it's not for every woman. It's simply not. And that's okay. It is for women that are just really ready to invest in themselves. invest the time, invest the energy, invest the money to go like, I want to get out where I am. It's costing me too much. I don't want to be in this place like a year from now, 6 months from now. And I'm raising my hand and saying, Karen, please help me. Okay, so here's what you need to do to apply. Either two things. Number one, you can email me, drkarenosburn@gmail.com. So it's just my name, DrKarenosburn, Dr. Karen Osburn @gmail.com. Or you can text me, 250-589-4811. 250-589-4811 and say, Karen, I would like to apply for the retreat. That's all you got to say. Okay, and I will send you the next steps. So either text 250-589-4811 or email drkarenosburn@gmail.com. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more really is one step away from just asking for what you want every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.